Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. This is episode 129. Joined with Nick Gwynn on the call. Connor Carson's, how we doing?
Yes, sir.
First official off-season episode.
Yup.
I mean, free agency's in about a month. Same with the draft. The draft is in about a month and a half.
I can't wait for the draft.
Bears are still on the clock this very second. But we're kind of going to be doing this kind of in parts in a way. For our next couple episodes before free agency and the draft and everything else, we're going to be going kind of by divisions and talking pretty much each of us selecting two teams to talk about what we think they should do this offseason and what their offseason is going to look like. Talking basically about possibly just their first round draft pick, some of the guys in free agency they could pick up and their team needs and like what the outlook on the team is. But whoever wants to start can go ahead because I'm doing the Raiders, Browns, and Bengals. And you're doing...
I have chose the Steelers, my all-time worst team, and the Broncos.
And then Nick has the Ravens and the Chargers. And then we were doing a collective about the Chiefs because they won the Super Bowl.
I guess I could start with the Steelers. For a lot of these, it's just quarterback-based, like what we said off camera. So a lot of these are going to be different quarterbacks, different scenarios kind of going on. The Steelers actually don't need a crazy amount of help. Mm-hmm. They went 10-7. They made the playoffs. It's just quarterback. Quarterback play is your number one thing that you need, and they don't have it. So I think that they're going to end up keeping Kenny Pickett. He's still under contract. He's going to be the backup. I think they are going to trade for Justin Fields. I think it's going to be either them or the Falcons. And I don't know if I'm going to do the Falcons. So let's act like we're going to get Justin Fields. Maybe they give up a second or third. I'm not going to go all the way, say they give us a first, but they could maybe do a second or third. He's just going to open up their offense so much. I mean, I guess Kenny Pickett's mobile, but he's not that mobile. And Mike Tomlin's never had a mobile quarterback. You got a new OC in there. I mean, why not try something new? The offense is fine. Your receivers are okay. If you want to cut some people for cap help, that's what I saw. I saw something that they might end up trading Deontay Johnson for some cap help. And then I think that they need to cut Allen Robinson, also for some cap help. They cut Mitchell Trubisky, so they didn't have to worry about that.
The Rams gave Allen Robinson that contract, right?
I think so. No, I think they signed him in the offseason.
Okay.
I think they need to restructure a lot of contracts on that defense because there's a lot of people on that defense taking up a buck ton of money. Mika Fitzpatrick, Patrick Peterson, TJ and Cameron Hayward, all these guys. You need to restructure a bunch of them. This is a really wide receiver heavy draft. So they do have the 20th pick. I'm not saying you have to go for a receiver that early, but eventually you should probably go and draft a receiver. Don't really care who it is as long as you have someone in there with Fields, some younger guys. Pickens is fine. If you do get rid of Deontay Johnson, you're going to need someone to fill that void, and you're going to need someone to fill the void of Allen Robinson. They could go out and sign a Gabe Davis or a Darnell Mooney, kind of get Fields and Mooney back together if they want to. I think that'd be kind of smart because Mooney's not going to be asking for a lot of money. You have to draft for O-line help. Your O-line's deteriorating. It's not doing very good. Justin Fields has already played behind one bad O-line. He doesn't want to go to another one. So I think with the 20th pick, you're going to end up taking a tackle. I don't have the mock draft up right now, so I can't tell you who it is. But I would take a tackle, and then I would end up signing just a lot of help in the
Steelers. The CBS mock has them drafting Amir Mims out of Georgia at tackle.
Okay, that makes sense then.
So yeah.
They need a lot of linebacker help. They have no linebackers whatsoever. There's a couple linebackers in free agency that they could sign. I think they should sign Bobby Wagner. I think that's a really big signing for them if they can get him. Someone like a Josie Jewell, and if you want to get crazy, you could try to go get Devin White from the Bucks because you're going to have some cap space left over. And I was talking about restructuring Patrick Peterson. I'd probably just cut Patrick Peterson at this point. He's too old. I've never liked Patrick Peterson. He just hang him up, man. If you want to go get, no one's gonna sign him. Just hang him up. But
the only way I would just keep him is just because he's just a veteran guy.
That's what I mean. You already have Joey Porter.
Yeah.
I mean, Levi Wallace is still there.
He's more of a depth piece than anything.
Miles Killebrew was an All-Pro this year, or I think that's his name. You still have Micah Fitzpatrick. I don't know. You still got Najee in the backfield. You still have, if you still want to run the two-headed monster, you still got Jalen Warren. So that's really all I got for the Steelers. Kind of just nitpicking a bunch of stuff, signing pieces here and there, cutting pieces here and there, drafting right. So getting a quarterback.
I guess I can go right into the Browns because it's kind of the same thing, except I feel like the Browns are really just Deshaun Watson playing better and a Nick Chubb being healthy away from like making a run.
Nick Chubb.
So it's definitely interesting. In my scenario, I have them keeping Nick Chubb. But, like, in my overall thoughts of the team, like, they're still going to have a top 5 defense. Like, most of their defense isn't going to be lost this season, but, like, more so down the future. But, like, it's really, like, I've been seeing a bunch of trading Deshaun Watson. I don't even think that's even an option for you guys at this point.
Can't.
So, their main needs are going to be receiver, because outside of Amari Cooper, you kind of just have a bunch of, like, number 3s.
Yeah.
And no real number 2. Running back, because you're going to have spots where, like, Nick Chubb, before he gets back and gets healthy.
Like at Jerome Ford.
No.
And Kareem Hunt.
No, they can get somebody better, I feel like.
Kareem Hunt's on a year. Or he might be a free agent now.
He is a free agent. And then tackle help. And then looking at some of the pickups, I have them getting KJ Osborne because they're not really going to have that much cap space. And I think KJ Osborne is somebody who has definitely stepped up in the past due to injuries with the Vikings. He's somebody who can play at a 2 level. And if Deshaun Watson just plays like Deshaun Watson's supposed to play, you have Amari Cooper, KJ Osborne. That's not a bad fucking receiver room, especially with how much they're going to end up running the ball anyways. And then super sleeper. If you like don't bring back Kareem Hunt or whatever, they need somebody else in that backfield with Jerome Ford until Chubb comes back. Like, fuck, go get Dalvin Cook for like the lowest of lows because you have basically no cap space with Deshaun Watson's contract.
I forgot he's fucking just a free agent now.
Because when he was healthy and he was in a good situation, it was 1,000 yards with the Vikings. And then he went to the Jets with a trash ass O-line and Breece Hall who was already there.
Well, the whole thing with Dalvin Cook was like they just signed him because they didn't think Breece Hall was gonna be like that. Like he was gonna come back, he was gonna struggle, and then he didn't struggle, and then they're like, well, fuck. Like, Dalvin Cook's going to lose touches now. So that's why he only played fucking 5 games or whatever it was.
And that O-line was trash to begin with. And then he goes to the Ravens at basically the end of the year, and he wasn't going to play there anyways. But it's kind of the same situations where you have Chubb coming back off of injury. Dalvin Cook is a proven back who kind of gives them something different that they haven't had. But I think him and KJ Osborne could be very good pickups. Depending on what you do with Flacco, because Deshaun Watson does have an injury history, I don't know if he would want to even come back and play for a full year like that.
He'd back him up. Yeah,
he could easily back him up, and this is somebody who already has done well with the team. Even though I feel like it was kind of a Linsanity kind of run, he's somebody who can step in and has success with his team. And then their free agents are basically Zadarius Smith on defensive end, and he's their main piece that they're going to probably lose, even if he did come have a good year. But like, he's older to the point where, like, if you lose him and pick somebody up in the draft to fill that void, you still have Myles Garrett. So
it's fine because they have Uso or Amar Cora or whatever the fuck his last name is. He'll probably just fill in. I'm pretty sure he was hurt last season. So that even if you don't get back Zadarius Smith, like, you're fine.
Yeah, and then the only part about this is interesting because they don't have their first round draft pick. So their first pick in the draft is going to be the second round 54th pick.
Who has their first pick? The Texans?
I want to say so.
That would make sense.
I want to say so. I didn't look up where that pick went.
Yeah.
Well,
they made the playoffs, so it'll be like 20 something. So it's not even like a crazy good pick.
Yeah. So looking at when that pick comes around, just looking at some tackle help, especially just because you have Myles Garrett, so you just need somebody that can complement him, right? But I mean, looking at their offseason, they just need to like look at Deshaun Watson and be like, we need you to hoop.
We only go as far as you take us. Yes, that's basically where you're at. Because I mean, they just need another receiver. They could even draft a receiver if they really wanted to, because how like stacked. I mean, I think everybody is going to get a good. I think this could be a really good wide receiver class. Like I know last year's was really fucking good, but like this one could turn up. You got Odunze, Harrison, Neighbors, and then all these low key guys, Coleman from like Florida State. Like a lot of dudes that can go like make an impact right away.
Because where they're drafted, second round, I have no idea who's going to be available when it comes to that pick anyways for receiver market. But even just somebody, like, go get somebody like KJ Osborne, somebody who's proven to be a good and solid number 2 for you. Because the main thing for this team, it's not even anything they can add because they already have everything they need. Like, it's
especially on defense.
Yes, like defensively, you're going to be top 5 again next year. Deshaun Watson is the big question mark. Is he going to be Deshaun Watson of old? Before the injury, he had that one game against the Ravens where it looked like he was of old. And then Chubb, if he's healthy or not, but if you add somebody like a Dalvin Cook and Jerome Ford, your backfield is going to be fine. Even Jerome Ford was doing fine when Chubb went out anyways. But, I mean, for the Browns, it's more so trimming up the edges and hoping Deshaun Watson can go back to anything he was once before. And that's mainly the only thing I have for the Browns. But Nick, you can get into the Chargers or Ravens.
For sure. For the Ravens, obviously, you're just going right back in.
Mm-hmm.
You're going all in. Just made it to the AFC Championship. Looking at their free agents and stuff, they do have a few key guys that they need to re-sign. Patrick Queen.
That is a big one.
I don't know how big Jadeveon Clowney is, but he's a free agent. J.K. your whole running back room, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards are both gone. J.K. Dobbins has been unhealthy.
J.K. Dobbins is if you were to put a contract in front of me that said yes to signing J.K. Dobbins or no, and you had a gun to me, I wouldn't know what to pick. I would have no fucking idea what to pick.
I really hope he goes somewhere and revitalizes his career and be.
I guess you don't bring him back just to just because how success that Gus Edwards has had and everything and you put anyone in there, so just have him go somewhere else. I don't know, but then when he's in, we've seen that he's really good. So it's very, very odd, and it's the running back market, so he's not going to get paid shit.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I might think that I think they might bring him back because I'm sitting here looking at salaries. Gus Edwards was making $4.5 million. Gus Edwards was making $1.4 million. Now I don't know how much he's going to be asking for.
It can't be a lot.
I don't think it can be much.
Well, is he on a fifth year?
I don't think so. I think they declined it.
Oh shit.
He is unrestricted free agent.
Oh, they might let him walk then.
They might let him walk.
Or they'll let him test free agency, whatever.
Yeah, they'll let him test the market. I don't Gus Edwards, he's 29. I don't think
Oh my god, I thought you said JK was 29. I was he's been in the league for 4 years. Damn.
Well, for the Ravens, if there was any year to really upgrade at their running back spot, you
got Joe Mixon, you got a Derrick Henry, you got Saquon, you got.
So the Ravens are about 800 under the cap or above the cap right now.
Oh, that's good.
They have a few deals that they can restructure to up to about $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you do have to re-sign Patrick Queen.
That's big.
I'm not seeing really many other guys that you have to re-sign. Yeah. Honestly. Odell.
Well, I saw
you don't have to sign Odell. They had the 30th pick in the draft. I'm looking at mock drafts.
Ooh.
And they say it's either an interior offensive lineman or a wide receiver.
Okay. So, well, they just re-signed Nelson Aguilar to another year, and then they could bring back Odell on a year if they really wanted to. Mm-hmm. Do I think they will? No, but personally, I wouldn't. But they could.
I would not either.
Honestly. They still have Zay Flowers. You have Rashad Bateman still.
The CBS mock has Chop Robinson, an edge out of Penn State, going 30th.
Mine has Amarius Mims, offensive tackle from Georgia, but a bunch of different.
I don't hate a D end or something, especially if you get rid of Clowney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep, exactly. If you get rid of Clowney, I could see them showing up defense.
An outside linebacker, because their outside linebackers rush, because they run they damn near run a 6 front. So.
And then you're also losing a few you're losing Rocky Sin, but these are just stuff you can grab, just random guys out of free agency. But general idea, you're just going all in.
Yeah,
you're not a big piece away. I just think you need a running back. You have options. I think you can either try to get J.K. Dobbins, maybe sign a low key name in this running back rich free agency market, or you can go get a big name if you want to cut some salaries.
Yeah, it's really just. No, it's the Ravens.
The Ravens,
they're gonna be good.
The Ravens should be right back where they were. The only what team? I still think they're the second best team in the AFC easily. Mm-hmm. They're unless the Bengals get fully healthy and they make some crazy and they get Derrick Henry or some shit. You're still taking the Ravens
Henry on the
over
Bengals. Derrick Henry on the Bengals would fuck. That'd be awesome.
They're still prime, ready to just make another run, especially because they're not really losing anything crazy, especially if they just bring Queen back. Odell is somebody who was hit or miss anyways throughout the whole entire season. Zay Flowers looks like a star, so the Ravens should be, barring any injuries, right back to where they just were, in my opinion, because I think they're still better than the Bills and the Bengals and the Browns and even the Dolphins, so they should be right back to where they were.
Yo.
But you want to dive into the Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to end up getting rid of Russell Wilson, probably. I'm going to say, in this universe, that he's gone. He's out of there.
I remember Nick said that was impossible. Because we talked about it a long time ago. I think I said something about him getting traded or cut or something.
I guess they're going to get rid of him.
And that cap hit.
That cap hit is going to be insane.
No, it was the Kyler Murray cap hit that we were talking about, and we brought up Russell Wilson too, because the Kyler Murray one was
has to be crazy.
I know they probably don't have their first round pick.
They do.
No way.
Do they?
The Seahawks have to have it.
I'm looking at mocks right now. No, they have the 12th pick.
Really?
Yeah.
How did they snag away with their own pick? That's kind of crazy.
I mean, they didn't. They traded away Bradley Chubb. Did that get it?
It could have. Oh yeah, they do. Okay. Well,
That
CBS has them Jared Verse from Florida State, an edge, which I mean I don't hate, but like we kind of need a fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
So if we're going through like this like mock draft, looking at the quarterbacks that are still like on the board, you see Caleb Williams goes, Jaden Daniels goes, Drake May goes. So you're really left with either Bo Nix, JJ, or Penix. So, and I think this is where you throw the JJ McCarthy name around with a person like him, and then going to Sean Payton, which is a really good coach. But Sean Payton doesn't like rookie quarterbacks. So, but I think the front office will step in and be like, hey, we need to do this. Unless they want to get in the Kirk Cousins ordeal, which I think doesn't do anything for them.
This is a team that needs to spend their money so many other places, and Kirk Cousins limits them. And
so I'm going to say that they take like J.J. McCarthy. You go J.J. McCarthy is your starting quarterback. You have to go get a tight end. They don't have a tight end. You're just not going to do it with Greg Dolch and Okunibonam and all these other guys.
If they were of the mindset of just keeping Russell Wilson, I mean, if Brock Bowers were to slide
Brock Bowers would be a cool person to take.
But you need a quarterback more than a tight end, obviously.
Your O-line is completely and utterly destroyed. Like, you need to go get a whole new O-line. Like, whether that's in the free agency and whether that's in the draft, like trying to as many pieces as they have left, or draft pieces they have left. They're probably going to end up trading Jerry Jeudy. He already wants out. He was talking about he was already on the block. I think they're going to end up getting rid of him. I really like Javonte Williams. I don't think he's their guy for the future. No. I think that they're going to end up probably rolling with him though, which I mean, cool. Like, Saquon's not going to go there. Joe Mixon's not going to go. No one's going to go to the Broncos.
And they're not paying some running back to go.
No. So, and you're going to go over the defense. I mean, they lost Bradley Chubb. Don't really have a D. They don't really have like a pass rush. I mean, your corners are really the only thing kind of saving you. You got Surtain and Simmons. A couple injuries here and there. Josie Jewell's a free agent. You kind of have to re-sign him for your linebacker spot. So I would bring him back. It's just a lot of fucking... They're in purgatory. They're in a bad spot, especially with this Russell Wilson thing going on. And it is kind of tough when you're always in Patrick Mahomes' division. You're in with the Chargers now and the Raiders. So, I don't know. It's just a complete rebuild. Obviously, it's not going to be a one-year thing. But first and foremost, you got to go get a quarterback. And you got to make sure that he plays and gets developed and everything. And I don't know.
It sucks that this would be the year that they didn't lose a couple extra games to be higher. Like, I think about that with just the Vikings. Kind of, we're in a way better spot than they are.
Yeah.
But like, to think that if we would have lost two more games, we would have been a top 5 pick instead of like outside the top 10, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not giving no like in-depth analysis on the Broncos. Like, I don't know that much. I don't know their cap situation. Mm-hmm. I don't know the whole list of free agents by heart. Like. But they need to go do something. And it starts at quarterback.
Their issues are more glaring because the spotlight has been on this Broncos team the past 2 seasons.
Yes.
And it's more so like, I think they're kind of scapegoating Russ. Obviously, Russ has been some part of the problem, but this is definitely a scapegoat situation. I mean, you basically traded assets for a coach. So, I mean, in any case like that, I think you're already starting off from ground zero. You don't have that much draft capital as is. You're going to get J.J. McCarthy with a team that still has a decent amount of talent. And I think McCarthy, in this world, with the Broncos and Sean Payton, could be solid because of how good of a coach Sean Payton is. And he could kind of like groom him to be what he thinks he is in a Drew Brees realm, because that's still what he fucking thinks he could get in this NFL world as a coach. But like, I don't know. They're in a very bad. I would say they're in the worst spot.
Yeah, they're in a pretty bad spot.
I think I would rather be in the Panthers organization.
At least they got
Broncos.
depth, or young youth. At
least they have their quarterback for the future. They're kind of, but having a quarterback for the future and not is two completely different
it's just very
things.
hard.
But Broncos. God, if they were just in a easier division, this rebuild would be so... you're going to have to play Patrick Mahomes for, the next fucking decade plus. So,
that's going to be... that's a problem.
And then,
you have the Chargers who are kind of just there still.
The Raiders are going to be better probably now. Mm-hmm. So, it's definitely interesting. They need to... J.J. McCarthy would be a good selection because he's somebody who you can groom with that organization. But I can go into the Bengals. Because interesting situation. Because my overall thoughts when I'm typing this all out on my computer is if they're healthy, they're a title contender. Any year you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase healthy, you're probably gonna have good odds to go to the Super Bowl. Like I talked about the Ravens. I'm taking the Bengals over the Dolphins and the Bills. Teams that are in that realm for contention in the AFC. And looking at what this team needs, they need kind of the same thing. They're getting rid of Joe Mixon, which just came out, so you're gonna need a running back. This is the only part where I'm they have to be looking to just get a whole upgrade because Joe Mixon is better than the average back.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they must be looking at a Saquon or a Derrick Henry or something like that.
There's no way. I can't even tell you who their backup is, and they're not going to roll with him. No. Unless they really want to draft a running back and they see something in someone that they don't see a Blake Corum or something that they want to bring in. But
But they could just use their draft pick on other needs.
That's what I mean. Running back is such an expendable position. So, what's the point of drafting one and then just go get fucking Derrick Henry?
I feel unless it's a Jahmyr Gibbs or a Bijan kind of thing where, they're obviously generational. You're using a first-round pick on them and they both worked out in their situations because, mainly Jahmyr Gibbs because of what's all around him. But, this is a perfect example because in this world I do have them going out and getting Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
because I feel it just makes sense.
I feel that makes the most sense.
And then
it's either them or the Ravens that are going to get Derrick Henry.
So I have them getting Derrick Henry to place up in that, bolster up that running back room, and then mainly looking at them, it's going to be the O-line.
Yeah,
they need another edge rusher next to Hendrickson for sure. D-line needs some help, and then the cornerback room could use some. So defense is going to be very
because
huge for them.
They're losing Chidobe. I'm pretty sure Chidobe was with them.
Yeah, so
he's a free agent, so not like I said they're going to lose him, but they don't have him. I have no idea who their safety is.
DJ Reader is also a free agent.
That's a big guy.
Him and Azui getting signed back, and then another kind of free agent pickup I do have them getting is they're definitely at need for tight end.
Yeah, they do not have a tight end.
So, in this world, I think Hunter Henry could be perfect for them because I don't know what the Patriots are going to do. And Hunter Henry is somebody who can add something to the offense because he's somebody who's been the Patriots' #1 guy for fucking years now offensively. So you add him, especially in a world where you're probably just going to let Tyler Boyd walk because
they already said they're probably going to do that
because you franchise tag T. Higgins, which in my opinion I wouldn't have done. I would have.
It gives you another year. It just gives you another year.
It just gives you another year to make. Seems like it's going to be an all-in year for them.
It basically gives him another year to show out for other teams.
Yes,
that's basically what the franchise tag does. Franchise tag is always a last option usually. Mm-hmm. If you can't get a long extension or a multi-year deal, you're going to get franchise tagged. I'm still waiting on Jalen Johnson to get franchise tagged.
So it's definitely interesting. In my opinion, I wouldn't have did it because I would have went out and with how many wide receivers are in the free agency world and in the draft, how deep, you said, how deep it is. I would have just already plugged in somebody because you already have Jamar Chase. You just need somebody who can take pressure off him. Obviously, because I would have loved to just see T. Higgins with Houston or something.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, you're gonna have him back, so that's good. You sign back DJ Reader, and then looking at another free agent that they could possibly go get. I had Zadarius Smith, just somebody if you don't go and get an edge in the draft, just somebody who can probably get on the low, even though he's older. Mm-hmm. You need somebody else besides Hendrickson that can get to the quarterback, even with how elite Hendrickson is trending to be. You just need somebody else to relieve pressure. And then, the main thing is even in the draft, they have the 18th pick. They probably should have lost a couple more games than they should have.
Yeah, well,
I have
Drake Browning was like, you know what? I'm gonna go win these games. I'm gonna go try to win as many games as I can.
And then Amarius Mims is who I have them getting out of Georgia just to bolster up that O-line, because at some point the O-line has to show up for Joe Burrow. And the main thing with this team is more so, if Joe Burrow is healthy for a full year and this team is fully healthy, they're at this point now, they're the only threat to the Chiefs in the AFC from what it's seeming like. If they're healthy, they're the only threat. They've proven they can beat them multiple times in the playoffs, regular season, whatever it is. But if they're fully healthy, you have Joe Burrow, you have Jamar Chase, you're well coached, you're going to have T. Higgins, your defense isn't sorry as fuck. So you should be, and if you add Derrick Henry and Hunter Henry and Zadarius Smith, like, this is a Super Bowl contender when healthy, and if they make the right moves, which they usually do. So, I mean, they should be a title contender easily next year, in my opinion. Especially if you, like, bring in Derrick fucking Henry. But, Nick, you can go into the Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers.
Your favorite team?
Chargers. They're looking bad, man.
Cap
looking
hell.
at this money. Cap hell.
Have fun, whoever wants to do the Saints. Oh my god.
If I did the Saints, it would just be cut this guy, cut.
Oh my God.
We're restarting. I'm gonna go do a Saints rebuild, bro. Like, I'm just cutting everybody.
That's what this basically is right here. This is a Chargers rebuild. First of all, J.C. Jackson, who's not on the team, is a $20 million cap hit to the Chargers.
He's not on the team. Where is he at?
I don't fucking know.
Great.
Is he on the Patriots?
I thought he was on the Patriots and then went to fucking the Chargers.
Man.
I don't know.
Khalil Mack, who they've restructured like 3 times already, is due $40 million this year.
That's pretty good.
He hooped this year, though.
Yeah, he did all right. He did pretty good this year.
Keenan Allen, 32 years old, is a $34 million cap hit this year.
He found like clean in Houston, Georgia.
Yeah, he got look good.
So, with all that being said,
what to do?
This year, we're rebuilding, all right?
Yep.
These guys, we got to get them out the door. Keenan Allen, we're just going to play out his contract. Khalil Mack, we're just going to play out his contract, get him out the door. All right? We just got to clear the books off a little bit. The Chargers hold the 5th pick. You can go, like, I don't know these guys. It has a few different O-linemen, or it has Brock Bowers if you wanted to get to, I don't know, a tight end to fucking pair up with Justin Herbert. But I have them going with offensive linemen.
Okay.
Just to polish up that offensive line, because it's okay, but like if you're gonna build for the future, I think you need that. I understand a world where they take Brock Powers, but I've seen Brock Powers like drop also down to the 20s. So like, I don't know what his draft stock is.
It's also the 5th pick in the draft.
Yeah, so it's a little weird. I don't know if they maybe want to trade down. I'm not going to that in depth, so maybe they trade down. And
if you could find a way to get off to trade down and possibly get off one of your terrible contracts, maybe in a way, you could possibly try to do that to kind of speed up the process. Because that's what I would look to do, especially with the 5th pick, and there's not anybody where you're like, that's a Charger for sure. Like we need him. Like if you don't get
that
Brock,
moves the scale.
If you don't get Brock Bowers this year, I promise you there's going to be a tight end, a free agency, or down the line that you could easily pair with Herbert. So like trading down could possibly be in their best interest, and trying to get off one of these badass contracts to try to look at a move this year.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what they might have to do. I'm not even looking at free agents because I don't think
you can't sign any of them.
Looking at it.
Because like even the Mike Williams contract, like even with him,
Mike Williams is making $32 million this year.
And he ain't been healthy in 2 years.
Yeah, so I mean,
like crazy.
The only person,
but they've restructured so many deals. It's insane.
I've also like kind of like looked into like what they've. Like what the Chargers lore is of what the plans are for like this offseason. It's like
the lore.
It's like it's more so just trying to get off your bad deals and bringing in a new group. Kind of like what you're saying. Like how what's your value on Bosa? Like if there was a deal for you to get off Bosa, do you take it even with how injury prone he has been? Obviously he's elite at his position, but it's like
Bosa probably not. I'm low-key.
Bosa has one more year after this on his deal.
I think they're gonna end up re-signing him because you still need someone on there.
Oh yeah.
You need a game changer, and you need to keep him. And he's younger than Khalil Mack, obviously. So like you just keep him and then trade Khalil Mack, and you got to trade most of these guys to try to get some kind of assets back.
Like Keenan Allen's a prime one.
Yeah, like just letting them.
Keenan Allen, yes, but I don't know if you're getting shit out of Khalil Mack anymore.
No, you're getting something from Keenan Allen.
Someone will reach. I'll give up a second pick. He can come back to the Bears.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, like with
but it's like, do they want to do that and look like they're just like throwing this year away?
Not really.
Like, you can still like. Here's the thing: the team's still good enough where you can at least compete for a playoff spot.
Yes. It's just because I don't.
But I don't know how they're gonna like looking at. I mean, they're not terrible in cap. Like they're not the worst. Actually, maybe they are. They're 30 mil under, 30 mil over the cap.
Damn.
So, but like they can do some more restructuring. You know, they're really good at that, so they can do some more restructuring and bring that number down.
God, I had like the list of like teams in absolute cap hell.
It's the Saints. Saints are number one.
Yeah,
they're almost like $100 million in negative.
Dude, it's crazy.
So it's
the Saints are 33.
Chargers are fourth.
Or Chargers are 33.
So it goes in terms of the worst. It's New Orleans, Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's bad.
Miami, Chargers, Denver, Cleveland.
All Buffalo has to do is cut Von Miller, and they're fine.
Yeah.
What's their number right now? Like negative what?
54.
So you cut Von Miller, you're only at like negative 20 now. Because he's like a $30 million cap hit.
Chargers are at 33. New Orleans is at, Jesus Christ. Guess the number.
It's like 90 something. It's like or 80.
Negative 81.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's because they have guys like Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu, like these guys who just like eat up fucking cap space, like Jamal Williams and Kamara. Like, yeah, it's your players, but like these guys are getting old, man. Like you ain't got no future going on because everybody's just taking up all this money. Like they're probably paying guys that aren't even on the fucking team anymore. Like,
God, that New Orleans one's going to be crazy. I will do it and I'll go in depth.
Oh God,
they can't trade Von Miller.
No, you just cut him.
They can't do it.
You just cut him.
$32 million of dead cap.
Cut him.
Yeah, I'd rather just keep him.
It goes down to 15 next year. That's variable.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're better off just keeping him. But I mean, the Chargers. I mean, your most valuable if you were to trade anybody, it's Keenan Allen, for sure. Because with how good Keenan Allen still is, like you're getting something back for him.
I mean, Quentin Johnston, the future of the Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm gonna go ahead and say he's gonna have a bounce back year.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
I think he'll be fine.
He'll be all right.
He'll be fine. And then like you gotta think Chargers have as much cap hell as they're in. You still have Jay Herbo. Like you're still like ahead of so many other organizations because you have him, and you're pairing him up with a great head coach. And obviously like Nick, what do you have him doing with Eckler? Just letting him go. This man lagging. But I would just let him walk, personally.
Man, I don't even know.
The fall off. What did we say? The fall off needs to be studied.
If your plan you have to be like planning going into drafting a running back if you're gonna let him go, because you're not gonna sign a running back. You're not gonna go. You're not. I mean, they talked about Saquon, but like they're probably not gonna get Saquon.
No, like, probably not.
I mean, I know Blake Corum is like the number one guy just because he was at
Michigan
with Harbaugh. So, like, personally, I'd keep him just because, like, there's no point to get rid of him.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't really think there's a point to get rid of him.
I mean, I would only look at it in terms of, unless he, like, some team comes out and snags him. Like,
I mean, they're not even going to trade him. Like, they probably wouldn't even trade his ass. You might as well just keep him on the roster. He was fine. Like, he's just a good dump down guy for Herbert. Like,
all right, Nick. So what's the plan with Eckler?
Oh, you say goodbye.
I'd keep him.
Say goodbye. And like we're getting somebody in the 3rd round, or Isaiah Spiller is the.
Man, this dude's internet is crazy.
Nah, I would also let him walk.
I keep him for around for at least another season.
At least one more.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you got to sign him. I don't know what you sign him to.
Yeah.
A deal.
Fuck no.
But I can go and we can pivot to the Raiders. I think a team is sleeper position to be.
Yeah, they are like
to be decent.
Just imagine if the Raiders would have like, if all their first round picks just either didn't go to jail, or like weren't shit. Like this would be so crazy.
So looking at what kind of my overview on the team is, they have a couple elite guys in positions that are very valuable, like Crosby, Devontae, even Jacoby Myers is a great 2 to have.
Yep.
Your defense isn't horrible. You need to work on your secondary, of course, but you have somebody that can get to the quarterback, and that can really just make your defense at least middle of the pack and be better than fucking most teams. But looking at it, it's more so another team. They just need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You got Josh Jacobs, who's a free agency. That's top priority.
I forgot he's a free agent.
You're gonna bring him back because I think he wants to be there.
Yeah.
And I love what Pierce is just building right now, because there was even it was crazy to me that there was even thoughts of him not being the head coach. But I'm like, Max Crosby said, "I'll just leave if he's not the head coach."
I'll just leave.
So I love him as the head coach. Andre James, you're gonna sign back. Bilal Nichols, you're gonna bring back. Currently have the 11th pick in the draft, and this is crazy because their main need is cornerback. We use another rusher to take pressure off Crosby, and then it's quarterback. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, could you ride out O'Connell for like one more year? Could you do it? But I'm like, you could, but I think this quarterback class is too good with how your pick selected is to pass up on like a Penix or like a Bo Nix, because I don't think O'Connell's that bad. And mind you, this is the last team to beat KC.
No, I don't think he's that bad either.
This is the last team to beat KC, and KC handled them too, by the way. So, in division, I think you have to, because they have the 11th pick, you have to take Penix here. I think he's the perfect quarterback for this team at the moment. Yeah. I like O'Connell, but I think plugging in Penix with Devontae, Jacoby, you sign and bring back Josh Jacobs. Like, there was times where, like, O'Connell just didn't throw the ball for, like, a whole half of a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to look at Penix as your future. And I think with having a new coach and Penix for the future, I think it could just be a perfect fit. I also see a world where they keep O'Connell and then you add in something like a top corner in the draft or, like, fill another need on the roster. But you get off Jimmy G, which that was
cut him.
Yeah, so that was a mistake off your part. And then free agency, looking if you were to add maybe one more receiver, Josh Reynolds could be on the market because I think the Lions could look to go sign a big name with all that cap space they have. And then Adoree Jackson for cornerback help.
I like that.
But, I mean, they're really a team that is, like, a couple decent moves away
from making the playoffs. Making a splash.
Mm-hmm. Like, if they were to get Michael Penix and he could be serviceable for his first year as a rookie, and then you're giving him a top 5 receiver in football. Josh Jacobs is a top 5 back in all of ball. Their defense isn't sorry. Like, if they draft Penix and he is serviceable for this first year, and this is not saying you're still gonna have O'Connell to where QB controversy or whatever, but like looking at them, if they hit on a quarterback, like this roster is prime ready. And I was thinking of looking at their cap situation because they do have a good amount of cap space to use. I'm like, if you were to do anything, like, this is a sleeper team. If you're like, fuck, if we have just Kirk Cousins, if we add him for like 2 years while we draft, so like Bo Nix, have him sit
like
under
maybe
Armour.
Something.
Yeah, like,
or this could be something.
Because Kirk Cousins is a floor raiser, because Kirk Cousins is gonna put you in position to make the playoffs. He's not gonna put you in position to win a Super Bowl. But for a team like the Raiders, I mean, it's already a place where people want to be and want to play. Like, you have Kirk Cousins and they have like 2 seasons, like maybe they get to the playoffs or something, make some noise, but like they're in a situation where they can definitely go a different couple of ways because they have cap, they have a good draft pick with how good the quarterback class is. Like Kirk Cousins, you could go down that way. You can go down Penix. You can bring O'Connell back and have him be the starter. Like,
it's basically, who do you think is like who screams Raiders? Like, Raiders quarterback. Like
Penix looks fire.
Penix, like, does he scream Raiders? Like JJ doesn't,
No.
and Bo doesn't.
No.
But Penix, like a Jaden Daniels, maybe like a Drake May doesn't. Caleb be all right, but like
So here's the thing. I was thinking because the Raiders are in a perfect position with their cap so they can make just a bunch of different trades.
Mhm.
I was looking at like just some shit on this, like looking a bunch of research up on the Raiders. Like, imagine they trade with the Patriots, because if you're the Patriots, you're like, okay, we're not gonna do what the Panthers just did and draft a quarterback with nobody to fucking throw to.
Mhm.
So it's either like where you take
you know, like the Raiders trading up.
yes,
Okay.
and the Patriots trading back.
Yeah.
So if you're them, because if you're the Patriots, the only person I see them drafting with their pick is Marvin Harrison, and like so it's like, all right, now he has nobody to throw to him for like a year.
Yep.
So like you might as well trade back and get more assets.
Juju.
Stop.
All right.
So you might as well trade back, have the Raiders trade up, take Daniels, Patriots get more draft picks, and then you put yourself better for the future, because you gotta think, new coach, new kind of whole thing for the organization without Belichick. Mac Jones,
What pick do the Cardinals have? Fifth? Fuck, does fucking Marvin fall that far? Like, because you got 3, and then the Patriots would have had, what, 3rd? If they don't trade back?
Yeah.
Maybe interesting. Because, like, the Patriots could do so much shit. They could trade back. Like, I think trading back and getting our pick is a good idea, selfishly. And then go getting Fields, and you already have a solidified quarterback. And then, yeah, you're going to miss out on, like, Marvin Harrison or something. But, like, if you can just go out, you have cap space. It's not like you don't.
Yeah.
So, like, you can go out and get receivers. If you really, and you have that 9th pick, go get Neighbors. Go get Odunze. Like, it's not like,
No,
I get
Cardinals
it. Marvin
have the
Harrison.
4th pick.
Huh?
Cardinals have the 4th pick.
Okay.
So in
But,
this world, they would end up with Marvin Harrison.
I get it. Marvin Harrison is like an all-generational, like, wide receiver. He's not the only receiver in the draft class.
No.
That's what people need to understand. If you are in the position to go take like a Neighbors or an Odunze or a Coleman, like, you go do that. They are game changers, man. Trust me. Like, these guys had better stats than Marvin Harrison in college this season. So, like, I don't think it's crazy for them to drop back all the way to 9 and go get an Odunze or Neighbors. So,
And
with
then
Fields.
and then looking at like the order, I mean, like, if you're the Raiders and you trade up and get Jane Daniels, then you're looking at like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
then you already have a quarterback. Did you watch the video of Ken Burkert or whatever his name is? God, you need to watch it. It's fucking hilarious. He's like going over Jaden Daniels highlights, and it's only the good stuff. He never went over any bad stuff. And he ran out of bounds, and it was like, yeah, he's so smart taking hits. And then someone quoted it with like a 4-minute video of him just jumping into defenders and shit. It was very funny.
But looking at like going back to the Marvin Harrison discussion, like if they were to take him, like, you have nobody to throw him the ball.
That's what I mean.
Like why would you take him anyways?
Well, Stoll was like, yeah, I'd rather have Bo Nix in the 2nd round. Or like the 3rd round.
I'd rather just trade back and then still take Bo Nix and have another second in
That's
my
what
pocket.
I mean. Like, or even just have Fields, who's, I mean, I'm not going to say Fields is like 1,000 times better than Bo Nix because we don't know yet. But like, to have someone who's already kind of solidified instead of taking a gamble on Bo Nix and that shitty ass O-line in Foxborough, like, I don't know. I think teams just way overthink what's supposed to happen. I also don't think Bo Nix is going to be like crazy good in the NFL.
It depends on situation.
I think he could be good depending on where he goes, but I don't think he's going to be like superstar level.
Looking at kind of the Vikings situation, if they were to bring, the only way we end up with Bo Nix is if we just keep Kirk, bring him back, and draft Bo Nix later in the draft.
I think I'm in the pool of you guys not bringing him back.
We've talked about it.
I don't think you guys are gonna.
I don't. We're in the pools where it's so much easier to fill out your roster.
I know.
But like, it's to the point now where it's like, if it was like a 1 year, I'm cool with it.
Not
If it's more than that,
It's
I'm
gonna be
not
3
cool with
year.
it. Yeah. So it's more so where I'm looking at situation based. Like Bo Nix, like if you put him with the weapons we have and the way we play, I mean, Bo Nix would probably fucking thrive.
Dude, we should have
Joshua
like
Dobbs should thrive.
Dude, we should do like a live fucking episode for the draft.
for the draft.
Like not like live, but like we have it like right there, and we just have this going.
Yeah.
Like, and we just talk about it. Like, I'm not saying we have to stream it or anything.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be pretty cool. Like live reactions to the first round at the least.
Yeah.
Like I think that'd be super cool.
Because I do think there's going to be some definite trades, especially with certain positions where teams are. And then, like, for the Patriots, like, if you were to say, fuck it, we're going to trade with the Bears and get Fields, right? you have the cap, so much cap to just pay him. Yeah. And it's not like
next year.
Yeah, it's not like you're paying him fucking Joe Burrow ass money. So you have the money to pay him, and your defense is already solid. You have a good run game. You just need fucking weapons. And with a new coach, the whole scheme is going to change.
With Fields, it doesn't matter where he goes. Your offense is going to change immensely because he's just not your typical pocket passer.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen what he can do on the ground, man. Like, if you can give him, like, a Lamar-type, like, offense, I'm not saying completely like the Ravens, but, like, designed runs and everything, that was Getsky's problem. He didn't do it quick enough. He didn't notice right away, I have a fucking quarterback who can get up to 50 miles an hour running. Like, we need to do that. His strength is running, not throwing. And then he's slowly going to get the throwing going when you give him options. Like, that's how it was with DJ Moore this season. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. If you can go get a good receiver for the Patriots and you can get Fields, you're fine. You have Neighbors and an Odunze.
It looks like Fields is pretty much out the door at this point. And
he just unfollowed us on Instagram.
The only teams I'm seeing is the Steelers and the Falcons.
He's going.
That's what Corey said. That Noti, when we get that like next week, it gonna hurt. Bears have traded Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second round pick. That's gonna hurt.
God, I mean,
me right in the chat. Have fun.
God, as much as I would like to see y'all keep Fields, the right strategic move is to just take.
Everybody's like, well, I don't understand why you guys just don't build around him. Be like, why would we? He's a turnover machine. He can't hold on to the ball. He doesn't know how to. He knows how to slide, but then when he does get hit, he's a fumble machine. So he makes the wrong reads. He misses wide open people. Like, yeah, he has the like wow factor. Like, he has the big play factor, but that's not what we need. We need a guy who can go in there and take us downfield, just not by us not running the ball every 3 downs. Mm-hmm. Like, us taking the top off, us hitting the short routes. Like, he can roll out, which is Caleb Williams. He can do it all. So, I mean, he's coming into a good system. He has weapons already. He has DJ Moore. He has Cole Kmet. We have a decent run. We already have a good run game. Mm-hmm. So, I
you guys have so much cap to where you guys can go add a receiver.
I don't think the people who are in the camp of like keep him and build around don't look at the actual stats of Justin Fields and what he like does on the field. Beats up on bad teams, plays bad against good teams.
So I saw a clip of people talking about the same situation we're talking about now, and it has in terms of Bears fans want to keep Justin Fields, but he's done nothing but lose.
Yeah.
But then look at Mitch, who took you all to the playoffs, and it's. Like, Mitch at least took y'all to the playoffs.
Okay, well, Mitch, so I loved Mitch back in the day, 2018. He had a historical defense. Our defense in 2018 was, like, crazy. We were really, that was when those Cleveland first year with us, and we won that division sorely off defense. And all Mitch had to do was be, like, decent. He had to go out there and just play the game and win. And, like, that's what he did. And we won, like, 11 games or whatever, 12 games, and then the double doink happened or whatever, and then Mitch fell off. So, I mean, we had our one season, and Fields comes in here, and he's like 0-9 and like game tying or winning fucking drives, and we blow most of the games we blew this season were because of him, and I blame Luke Getsky as well. Yeah. Now that he's gone, so I don't know. I think if you bring in a whole new OC, you got to bring in a whole new quarterback.
Yeah. It's just gonna make sense. I think the draft's gonna be super interesting this year, especially with.
I can't wait. If we do the live thing, it's gonna be the first pick. Me sitting here, yeah. It's like, oh no, Bears have traded first round pick. Like, no, fucking trade back. They didn't.
Nah, I mean, out of all the teams we talked about, the only team that in a terrible spot is obviously the Broncos, and we have a lot of interesting teams in this spot. We'll continue to go, probably hop into the NFC. Next episode we do, depending on the division. But
bro, I saw this thing. Hold on, I want to see this on Twitter. It's about Dak. I'm gonna bring up Dak because we were talking about Dak in the group chat about because the $60 million whatever. So I liked this tweet, and I'm gonna have to find it. But it was about the leverage. It says a reminder of the leverage that Dak Prescott has on the Cowboys. So his cap number for 2024 is $59 million. That's his cap hit for this season. He can't be tagged next year, meaning he could become an unrestricted free agent if he wants. He has a no-trade clause. Can't get traded. If Dak were to leave in free agency next year, Dallas would take on a $36 million dead money in 2025. Prescott has 1 year left on his contract, has all the leverage in the world, and is asking to make him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. What do we think about that?
How about them Cowboys, Nick?
Because who's the highest paid quarterback right now? Is it
Herbert?
Is it Herbert? Did he?
He's like a 60
I thought it was
million
Burrow.
a year.
Burrow or Herbert?
Or is it Kyler?
I don't know.
Is
That's
it
one of
Kyler?
them three.
Let me look.
Isn't it Burrow?
I thought it was Burrow.
broke the
Is it
record.
Burrow? Did Burrow sign up before Herbert?
I think so.
Okay.
Highest paid NFL QB right now. It's Burrow.
Okay.
Oh my god. Holy shit. It's like you're just gonna like it's funny to like look at this list and then you just like slide Dak Prescott in here above everybody because it's Joe Burrow at 55 million, Mahomes is 52 million, then it's Herbert at 52 million and Lamar at 52 million. And then Dak Prescott would tower all of them and it would be 60 million.
He would be the highest paid quarterback for a grip too.
Yeah, until
So like
there's
CJ
not
Stroud would have to get
the
fucking
only
paid.
people that would be looking for contracts is everybody that's in Fields class now. So you're looking at like
T-Law.
T-Law
Okay.
is the only one who's gonna. Fields can get a contract; it won't be that big. T-Law could get a good contract from the Jags,
But it
'cause-
might not be 60.
but it might not be 60
I don't think it should
million.
be 60.
I think it could be up there though. I think
Yeah.
it could be a 50 million area because Jaguars aren't gonna move on from him ever probably.
No.
And then the other people in that draft class are Zach Wilson and Mac Jones. So, and Fields.
Pro Bowler Mac Jones.
Pro Bowler Mac Jones.
I mean, we kind of getting off script with it, but like,
Yeah, I was
is-
kind of talking now.
is it so out of the realm to like look at Dak? Like Nick, what are you doing? Like, has the Cowboys like what are you? This is your team. Like, are you even looking at the realm where this team is? Dak Prescott isn't on this team in the future, in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think you have to, right? I mean, like, you have so many other guys that you have to pay. You have to at least consider the possibility. Because, like, you got to pay Micah. You got to pay CD. You already paid Trayvon. Like, you want to pay Deron Bland? He's going to be asking for a good amount now. I can't think of our tight end's name for some reason at the moment.
Oh.
Ferguson.
Breaking news.
Ferguson's
Breaking
gonna be
news.
asking for money.
The Chargers are expected to cut Mike Williams this offseason. The Chargers will encounter $12 million in dead cap by cutting him. They will also save $20 million. Williams has been solid but often injured. It looks like another top receiver will be a free agent this summer.
God, this free agent class.
So there
is
goes
supposed to
Mike.
be
So
wicked.
Mike Williams is now a free agent, or going to be a free agent eventually.
That's crazy.
I mean, damn. So this is it. I was joking, but this is the Quentin Johnston shine. He's gonna.
But like, if we did like the live stream during the draft, and I see Vikings pick come up, JJ McCarthy, I'm sitting here. I'm like, wow. Bears just got Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams. I'm like, wow. Jordan Love's over here hooping with the Packers. I'm relying on JJ McCarthy to take us.
I
to
think-
the prom. And then we got Detroit over here, just damn near in the Super Bowl. Like, wow.
I think people are gonna slob us if we get Marvin Harrison and Caleb. They're gonna be like,
playoffs next
"Fuck,
year.
Bears might win the Super Bowl next year." They'll be like, "Holy shit!" Or at least make it.
But I'm in the mindset of it's either we bring Kirk back and we sign him to a 1-2 year deal and we kind of ride it out with him, which I wouldn't be bad at. But it's either in the draft, just like keep Kirk, go get Bo Nix later in the draft, or it's either because I think Bo Nix, with how they played at Oregon, I think he could fit right into what we do. But it's like McCarthy, I'm just like, when you're looking at Michigan, like he really ain't have to pass the ball that much at all, really. And then it's like Penix, you're just like injury history. It's either like you're like
old ass.
like, fuck, are we just gonna trade up and just take Jay Daniels, like who can do everything, and like he can really do a lot of the same shit as Caleb Williams. Because we're out of the realm of getting Drake May, but it's just like, what do we give up to trade? Because
I would say Caleb Williams and Drake May are the only locks right now.
yeah,
Like Drake May is gonna go number 2, or like if by God somehow we do some crazy shit, it would be Drake May 1, and then Caleb Williams would be 2.
So it's definitely very interesting. McCarthy's just a weird name that I wouldn't really want to see.
It's hard to explain. You don't know.
I just don't. I'm just the least for sure about him because of just the way he played in college, just like the way they played at Michigan, and the whole scheme was just we're just gonna run the fuck out the ball. Our defense is elite. Just don't throw a fucking pick. and put us in a bad position. It's like, but then I
The
look
line
at
was crazy.
yeah, then I look at somebody like Bo Nix, somebody who is like proven to throw the fuck out the ball, like play more of an NFL style game to where it's played now, and like a
Like run and
Penix,
gun.
like run and gun, get up and down the field, push the ball down the field, and then I'm looking at McCarthy, I'm just like fuck, like is he like he is the like a game manager?
That's why
type.
I know it's gonna be interesting to see who takes him. I mean, I really will. I think whoever gets JJ McCarthy is gonna be like, all right. Like, I mean, what about the Falcons?
Because like the Broncos are interesting because the Broncos could just groom him and like with Sean Payton, like they could groom him
Next
to be
Peyton Manning.
like they could groom him to be something for real. But it's just like you put him in a situation like Minnesota with all yes he has all those
Brights
weapons.
might be too light in Minnesota.
But like you put him on Minnesota. Minnesota they have aspirations of winning the division.
We ain't trying to lose, bro.
Yeah, like we're not trying to have a year with. Like I said, our division could be stout. Like we're not trying to have a year. We're coming from Kirk Cousins to JJ McCarthy. Kirk Cousins healthy last year was a top 5 quarterback when he was playing. Like Kirk Cousins was hooping when he was playing.
I can't wait to figure out who the Saints take.
Like it's so interesting to see like what they're gonna do, and I'm glad I don't have to make these kind of decisions because knowing my ass, I'm like fuck it, we're just gonna take Penix, we're gonna roll with it. Like fuck it, no, we're gonna trade back. We're bringing Kirk back.
We're gonna trade back the next 3 picks, and we'll be ready next year.
Oh, next year will be tough.
We'll be ready
next
next
year.
year.
As hell. But like I don't know, just kind of talking about the off season. It's the best time of the year because all these hypotheticals.
You can just
and
yap about a bunch of
situations.
shit.
Like, because then I'm like, wow, what bum team is to go sign Jimmy G
The
for the 1
combine.
year?
I can't wait for the combine. Like some combine shit's gonna come out, and they'll be like this guy, some random dude that we don't even know. Be like, yeah, this guy's won in everything.
Nakua.
Yeah, like some random dude did crazy combine. You're like,
It's gonna be like the JJ McCarthy. Like my jaw's gonna be on the floor with see who's drafts. Because I think somebody could come out like the woodworks to draft him. Because I feel like even Atlanta, like even
Steelers,
Atlanta wants
Raiders,
somebody. I feel like that
people.
can be Diesel like right now. Like if you get McCarthy,
Looking at Atlanta, their quarterback situation, like, all right, we're gonna go. Like, we can win this division like now.
Yeah.
Like this is the time to win the division. Like we can't be like. We ain't doing no trade backs or anything. Like, we need a guy who's going to come in here and win us games.
Yeah. So to kind of wrap up the episode, what did y'all think of Mike Evans? And because Tampa's like undecided about Baker Mayfield's future with the team because he is a free agent. Mike Evans, I see a lot of teams out of the woodworks. The only team I think makes sense is Houston.
Yeah.
He's from
I
there.
don't think he'll leave.
Oh, that'd be fire.
He's from there.
I don't think he'll leave. I think he has already established himself as like a fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's the point of leaving? Like he's been there his whole career.
Well, he's waiting to see what they do with Baker.
I think they're gonna bring Baker back.
If they don't bring Baker back, if I'm Mike
There's
Evans,
your
I'm
JJ
leaving.
McCarthy.
I'm leaving. If I'm Mike Evans,
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
they don't bring Baker back.
Yeah, I mean they have like so many people that they need to re-sign. Like I think the number one priority is Baker, and I mean I get it. If you don't want to bring back Baker, I understand. I get it. He was only 1 year or whatever. But fuck, man, he won the division for you.
Look at the second
You guys
round.
went to the fucking second
tried,
round.
man.
Like,
Y'all were a drive away.
That's
from
what I
going
mean,
to the
like-
championship game.
I mean, fuck, you might as well bring him back on like another 1 year if you want, or a 2 year. Like nothing crazy. No, don't do like no crazy guaranteed money type deal. Like now with Evans, you basically got to give him whatever you want. If you want to tag him, you can if you really want to. But Mike Evans is the type of guy who wouldn't want to play on a tag.
Yeah.
So I understand.
I think him and Houston would be.
Trey was speaking some crazy shit about coming to the Bears. I was like, bro, he ain't coming to the Bears. Like, you need to get your head out
Somebody
of the gutter.
who's lived in the warm weather ain't coming up to the Midwest,
Hell
bro.
no, he ain't coming to try to play in the snow. Like, he ain't doing that.
I
Let him
was
stay.
like, I'm thinking.
I think he'll stay.
Fire.
Yeah. I just think bringing Baker back makes the most sense. I mean,
Unless you want to fuck around and go like Green Bay or something.
God. Oh God.
Unless you want to fuck around and go to Detroit or something.
No. Detroit makes sense.
They need to re-sign Amon-Ra. That's their number one.
Yeah.
He's a free agent.
So,
Or going to be a free agent.
I don't know. Free agency starts in like a month, so
We got time.
yeah, we got time. But you guys want to wrap it up there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope you tune in to future episodes.